Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's gonna be a fun video. So a lot going on. It's a get ready with me featuring mostly new Dior, and I'm trying out my Sonia G fusion set with this with these products too. And I'm talking to you about how I landed here in Europe. So we've got a lot of stuff to get into. We have a new foundation from Dior, an older but new to me concealer, a new blush, a new highlighter, and a new eyeshadow, and a new color lip from me. So we've got a lot to tackle, plus the brushes, plus I'm talking about a little bit about my European story. So if you want to hear all that and see how everything came together and what this cute thing is on my head, just keep watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it when you do. Now let's jump in. Okay guys, so today is a Dior get ready with me video. I'm gonna talk a little bit. I've been asked before quite a few times, about how I ended up in Europe, and so I'm gonna just give you I did it before a couple of years ago in a video, but I have more followers now, so I'm going to tell this story for the final time. Today I thought it'd be a fun time to do it with Dior. I've got some new Dior to explore. We're gonna be digging into the Sonia G fusion fusion brush set, so we'll talk about that in 1 second, but that's just what the video is going to be. So I don't know how long this is going to be. I do love to talk. So let's jump right in. So before I dig into my story, I just want to talk about the Dior Capture Totale Cell Energy Super Potent Serum Foundation that you saw me just apply. I'm about to apply a second coat. Let's see how this builds up as I talk to you guys. Beautiful bottle, glass bottle, really heavy, really weighted. A new one from them. This is not a cheap foundation, but Serum Foundation, they had me at Serum Foundation, so let's see what they're saying about it. It is it's enriched with self-vectorized hyaluronic acid for an instant smoothing effect, with a formula offering complete correction. In perfect affinity with skin, its supple formula helps correct the visible signs of aging without emphasizing them. Wrinkles, visible pores, loss of firmness and radiant, as well as color imperfection. Okay, so it should look firmer, plumper, wrinkles are visibly smooth, and spots discreetly concealed, something I'm absolutely going to be looking for today. The complexion glows with youth. The Serum Foundation provides all-day comfort and hydration for even the driest skin, and protects the skin from environmental stressors thanks to its UV and UVB protection. Okay, so this is the box. This is a 30 ml or 1 fluid ounce of foundation. It felt beautiful going on. So I started with the Sonia G Jumbo Base. Okay, the fusion set, 5 brushes in the set. They are also sold individually through Beautylish. And it is a fusion because she's using synthetic bristles and Sokoho goat for these brushes. So beautiful, dense brush. Really got me in and out. I'm used to specific brushes, so it's not as soft as maybe I'm used to right now because I'm so over, I'm not over, I use a lot of like natural hair bristles, but it still feels really good and it gets me in and out, no problem at all blending. But that was just something I noticed, but I'm still gonna get a lot of use of this, absolutely. So I just put like a half a pump more, okay? And I'm gonna get this on the face. One thing about the natural bristles is they are depleting, folks. Especially here where I have like hormonal situations down there. Make sure to put more there. They're depleting, the supply is shrinking. So I think this is where we're going with brushes, natural hair brushes. I think they're going to use synthetic and natural for a while they're developing fully synthetic brushes. So we'll see the brush industry where they go going forward. So yeah, let's start this chat. So this is the second coat. My name is Bree, if you don't know, born and raised in New York City. I am from the Bronx, born and raised in the Bronx, from New York. And yeah, that's where I mean, I assume that other people's cities, you know, kind of inform who they become. New York, absolutely. I mean, I am who I am a huge part because of where I'm from in terms of being just exposed to every kind of person, so many different things. There was no such thing as like foreign. You just, you know, you knew the neighborhood, you knew everybody from the different neighborhoods. You had a friend from here, you had a friend from there. My mother is was an ESL teacher, so she taught foreign students. So, and through that job, I got exposed to maybe other ethnicities and cultures that I didn't while living in New York. So, I mean, I knew a bit of everybody. I knew the different foods. I knew things about the different cultures. It's so funny because food is one of those things that just, when I moved to Europe, and as I meet new people from different cultures, the excitement they get when they realize you know some of their food. Food is just one of those awesome things that just bonds us, and people get truly, truly excited. I'm in love with this serum finish. This glow is doing it for me, and I'm hearing what they're saying. It's blurring. It's not emphasizing any fine lines. It's doing a pretty decent job of covering the dark spots initially. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go back in and spot conceal, but it's doing a nice job. Anybody else like me in their 40s experiencing more hormonal breakouts? Like, I've always had breakouts, you know, over my face, but it's specifically now here. An occasional one will pop up somewhere else, but it's pretty consistent in terms of where it's happening. Guys, this formula is beautiful. It's so beautiful. That youthful glow they're talking about, this is such a beautiful formula. I'm wearing 4N neutral. I thought that would be the best one for me. I do have yellow undertones, but I find that I can also wear neutral shades too. 4N seemed like the best bet online to use, and it's a dead on match. So beautiful, beautiful formula. Ooh, I'm happy with that. So this was about 1.5 pumps. And you can see it doesn't look too overdone. Any foundation, I haven't tried a new foundation in a while, but any foundation that I try, it needs to look natural. I don't like caked on foundation. I don't like the look, not my thing. So it needs to look super natural, and this is absolutely giving that to me. And the brush, like I said, did a beautiful job. It's feeling softer as I go on, so maybe it just needs to loosen. I just needed to loosen a bit. I washed it and stuff, so it's feeling smoother. I like a dense brush though. This is the perfect brush for foundation, and it's tapered, so that just that tapering lets me kind of follow the curves, the natural curves of the face seamlessly. It's allowing me to get under the eyes with the foundation really seamlessly. Happy. 2 for 2. Let's move on to concealer. So next up, I'm going to use the Jumbo Concealer for concealer. I'm just now getting into using brushes for my concealer. I was just a sponge girl, but I'm liking the finish, and so I'm going to try out. This one is not a new product, but it's new for me. I'm using 4W in the Dior Forever Skin Correct concealer. As I'm getting older, my birthday is in November. I'll be even older. As I'm getting older, I'm finding that concealer is like my savior product. That is the one that I can just have on skincare. Concealer makes the world better, okay? Concealer makes the world better. So I'm a big fan of concealer, so I'm always on the lookout for a concealer, and I heard good things about this one, so I'm excited to try that out. One of the things that New York absolutely did, I got my sensibilities from where I grew up. I'm incredibly street smart, and so I got my sensibilities, but what it also made me want to do was to explore the world, because I knew I grew up with so many people, different kinds of people around me. I was curious about travel. Travel was always something I wanted to do. And I think I knew, I said it pretty early on that I knew, as much as I love my city, it's still my favorite city in the world. I knew New York was not a place that I wanted to stay forever. I knew that was not gonna be a place. I'm liking how this brush is blending this out, and I'm liking how easily it's blending it out. I think the color is a good one. I could probably go one lighter for brightening, but for concealing, this is looking like the perfect color. Did I tell you? 4W. So I could probably go one down to get a brighter finish. So anyway, listen, trying to keep this story together. So it did make me want to travel, and on my 27th birthday was my first trip to Europe, and we went to Italy. My cousin and I did. We went to Italy and we went to France. That was the trip, and we took a train. It was like the dream trip that you dream about. You take a train from one to the other. You flirt your way through Italy. You're just having a good time. And while there, I said, wait, I can do this. I could live in Europe. I could do this. I think this would be a fun place for me to do. I love the culture. I love the architecture. It just seemed like a place that I could be okay with. I'm digging this concealer, guys. I'm digging this concealer. And the brush is doing a really nice job. I may never go back to, I'm just getting the rest off the thing. I may never go back to sponges. Yeah. So anyway, so then I went again. I surprised my mom and my godmother with the trip to Italy. And so that was the second time I went, and it just convinced me even more. I was like, man, I can do this one day. I think it'll be fun to live here. But as life goes, and this is a lesson I've said to people before, don't hold your dreams off for other people. If you were like me, especially at that age, 27, I wasn't quite ready to leap by myself. So I was trying to ask anybody who I knew who was like single, no kids, you know, had a little more time. Hey, you want to move to Europe? Hey, and in theory, it sounds great. You want to move to Europe? Let's do this thing. And it sounds wonderful, and people are like, that would be so great. But really, nobody's really prepared to leave the country that easily. And so I kept pushing off a dream of mine until one day I said, forget it. I'm digging this concealer a lot. Now I'm trying to debate if well, because it's the same thing, I might use this one to spot conceal. Let's see, I'm gonna use the same concealer. This I'm using nothing in the thing. I'm using my Westman Atelier Spot Concealer brush. So I moved to Chicago from New York, lived in Chicago for about a year, and then I moved from Chicago to Virginia, where a lot of my family is, and where my mom had moved to at that point, because I was living with my mom in New York. She moved to Virginia. I went to Chicago, and yeah, this concealer is the perfect color for me to spot conceal. So living in Virginia, Zumba became a big part of my life. And I'm only telling you this part of the story because I really, really genuinely believe without Zumba, I may not have had the confidence, I guess, to take the leap that I did. So because I don't know, there was a community and we became really good friends, and it was just a new me through Zumba that I just really, I don't know, learned a lot about myself. I'm doing it to try this out, but it's one of those things, especially, this is the best part of being the best part of being in your 40s is you don't care about things you once did like you did. It just, yeah, things bother you, but not to the extent that they once did. Something like this might have just driven me much more crazy when I was in my 20s. Now I put a little something on, and if stuff peeks through the concealing, I don't care. That's it. That would be somebody else's problem. That's not my problem. But I do want to see how this concealer works in terms of color. And so I feel like it's doing a really nice job of the areas. Like some things I'm just whatever. But it's doing a nice job of the darker spots. Now, in the interest of time, some things need to be done off camera because I'll be talking for forever. I did my brows, but I also used the Dior Forever Cushion Powder just underneath the eyes, to powder underneath the eyes. And we're going to move on now to, I will bronze my face. You know what? I didn't even spot conceal the fading thing on my head. So, oh yeah, I remember I did. I'm going to use the Dior Forever number 5 Warm Bronze bronzer with the classic base from the Fusion collection, okay? Using the classic base brush, okay? So let's see how this brush does. The concealer brush was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love the finish that it gave. Really, really happy with both the concealer and the brush. I'll definitely probably track back and get a lighter one because I do like to brighten underneath my eyes a little bit, but I do like this to conceal the areas. Like I said, almost mid-40s. Concealing is the thing. Okay, so where was I? I'm in Virginia, Zumba. It just gave confidence. You're just feeling better about yourself, so naturally you're going to have, and I'm not someone who really ever lacked for confidence in my life, but still it gave me more confidence. And so I decided to take a class to be able to get certified, to be able to get certified, or to get certified to, this is really soft and this feels really nice. It feels really nice. To get certified to teach English as a foreign language, okay? So my mom does ESL as a second language in America. I was getting certified to teach English outside America. Now, I had gone back and forth where I wanted to teach, where I wanted to go, and I had a friend in Spain. I'd never been to Spain before. It was not really... I love football as in soccer, European football. And so Real Madrid was my team. So I thought I wanted to go to Madrid because I like their football team. I mean, what the hell? Why not? And a friend of mine who's from Madrid gave me the best pros and cons about Madrid and Barcelona. He said, I think you might prefer Barcelona. Coming from New York, coming from this thing, he's like, I just think you might like Barcelona more. So I took his advice and I started looking up Barcelona and decided on Barcelona. I decided that's where I wanted to be. Did not know anybody there, didn't have a place to live, didn't know Catalan, can get by in Spanish. And yeah, no job, no friends, no place to live. Like, this was crazy, right? By the way, beautiful brush. I can see how this is a multi-purpose brush, but it worked really nicely for to apply the bronzer. And what I'm gonna do now is take the smaller concealer brush, the soft concealer, and just use it to bronze right here down the bridge of the nose a little bit. I can see this is one of those workhorse kind of do different things brushes that I really love and I feel like we all need in a collection. So let me try that. So anyway, so crazy, absolutely crazy. Now mind you, as as I'm doing this and as I'm not thinking anything I'm doing is crazy. This is just, I want to do this thing. I want to do this thing. It's only upon reflection now, many years later, that I'm like, who was that person? Looking back, I'm like, I can't believe I did this. So I decide to move to Barcelona. And for the first 2 weeks, my mom was gonna come with me. Sold my car, gave her my apartment, and I had 2 suitcases with me. So before we jump into Barcelona, the next step I'm gonna do the eyes. Look at this beautiful mono color. See the design? It is a limited edition mono color. It has the engraved Couture ribbon motif. Beautiful. It matches the lipstick that we're gonna end with. So this beautiful nude dress, so a nude pink with a satin finish. This is not giving me pink at all. I don't want to mess this up. This is giving me, it's okay, we can maybe I can go along with them. It has a pinkish undertone, but this is more of like a taupe color. Okay, so I'm not sure why that site says pink. This is more bronzy taupe for me, but I could see how there might be a pink undertone. Very pretty. Nude indeed. So as a single color on the eye, it should look very nude on me. So there are no dedicated eye brushes in the Fusion set. So I'm going to use the soft concealer, the one I just used for just right here, as like a jumbo eye brush. So we'll use this one. And these brushes can be used with creams, powders, all the stuff, okay? Anything you need it for, they can use it. So let's jump into this eye as we move into Barcelona. So my mom's coming with me for the first 2 weeks, sold everything, ready to go. We get there the 29th of December, I think. So I'm going at the end of the year. 29th of December. Of course, in doing my research, I got fixated on one place in particular, an area of Barcelona that just sounded like, oh, I need to be there. It's also a very expensive part, a particularly expensive part of Barcelona. But that because that's what I researched, I thought that's where I had to be. So I decided to, this is very pretty. I love these kind of shades on my brown skin. It just kind of makes it, gives it a nice glow. So there's clearly, it's satin. So there's clearly color there, and I'm such a fan of one and done colors. I can't even tell you, and this is my shade for it. So anyway, so we get there. Now I need to have a place to live. We're staying at like a hotel, and so we have 2 days, my mom and I, where we're walking around this damn city, up and down the city, looking at places, and just before the new year, I find an apartment in this area that I wanted to be, not cheap, and I swear the room is the size of a shoebox. I didn't have a balcony, it was called a balcón, okay? That's how small it was. The Y wasn't on the word, okay? Super small, and not that cheap. I think my first room was like $400 a month or something. And I lived, in the end, I ended up living all around the city. So with experience, I knew that that was way too much money. So move into this place and I meet my first friend there. She's a Swedish girl. She would become my friend for my time there. And we had an Argentinian young lady live with us, and it was just a fun time. It was a really fun time. This brush is doing the trick, and like I said to you, these multi-purpose brushes, these little workhorses that you can do different things with, always a good thing. I'm gonna put a little on the lid with my finger. So yeah, after 2 weeks, my mom left, and I tell you what, that was tough. I cried for like a day because I think the reality of what I'd done, moved to another country with no job, no friends. Now I had a place to live, but those other 2 things, and my savings were dwindling. So I had to, like, you know, get moving. So I gave myself, maybe it was 2 days to be really down. And I was like, girl, you're here now. Time to hustle. And I did. And I started looking for English jobs. But what I found out pretty early on was interesting. I found out that the jobs at schools pay you less, right? So it's a double-edged sword. Jobs at school paid you less, but you had a built-in social group. You would know other teachers, you would know other people. So it's a great way to meet people working at schools. Whereas jobs at private tutoring or private teaching, you could ask for more, but you don't have that built-in group of people. And when you're leaving your country, you don't know anybody, you cannot underestimate how important it is to have people there who you can rely on and cry with and laugh with. So I went out for a couple, worst job interview in my life I had in Barcelona for a school, and I just was like, I don't know, maybe this is not the route for me. And I found some business that did private classes, and they will send you to these private classes. You go to people's homes around the city and you teach them for an hour. But now I'm like, okay, again, that's the other biggest thing. Haha, forgot that part. You have a set salary in a school. Obviously not with this kind of teaching. When you're teaching, you know, doing your own classes, you don't have a class, you don't get paid. So very tricky place I was in early on. Guys, I got this far in and I forgot to talk about my Breezy Tee product of the day. Oh, see, I can't talk, put on makeup, and remember what I have to do. So today I'm rocking our navy blue boho head wrap, okay? It matches this, which I'll get into in a second. I need this sidebar. Long piece of stretchy fabric, fashion it into any style you want. My puff is back after many weeks, and so this is one way I love to zhuzh my puff up, is with one of our boho head wraps. They come in lots of colors, but you can wear it to the gym. You can wear it on those days you just don't have the time to do your hair, the days that you just don't want to do your hair. Wear it to run errands, wear it on date night. There's a nice little sophisticated sheen. So you can dress it up, you can dress it down, and they're just awesome. So if you want to check out any of our boho head wraps, just visit us at breezytee.com or our Etsy shop, and the links will be in the description below. So next up, we have this beautiful blush, Millefiore, okay? I have to pronounce it the Italian way because it's written like an Italian word. I took Italian in college, fun little fact. Millefiore, okay? 361. Now this is, I believe, an existing color that they have now turned into a limited edition special blush. This was thought to be just an Asian release, and I know that people got it from Asia, and I'm glad I didn't, because it absolutely has come out in Europe. So I was able to wait and get it. Absolutely beautiful. And I don't have this color from the shade from Dior, a powder pink, they're saying it is. So I'm excited to see what this looks like. Of course, I'm being very intentional about where I swatch. I don't want to mess this beautiful thing up, but I need to get some color so that you guys can see what it looks like. Here we have it swatched. So it is a pale pink color. Hopefully you can see it, and it should show up on me as a pale pink color. So I'm excited to try this on. Really nice finish, really smooth, like a satiny finish. And I'm going to use the same Sonia G brush, the classic base that I used for the bronzer. I'm also going to use for my blush and see how I like it as a blush brush. When I tell y'all I'm tapping, I am not digging, I'm not swiping. I'm trying to be very mindful of this beautiful image on here. Okay, so in Barcelona, made a decision to teach particulares, teach classes, one-on-one classes through this agency. Through the agency, I met a woman, taught her. She wanted me to teach her husband, so I started to teach both of them. I left the agency and decided I can do this on my own. So, and I'm talking hustle. I'm talking put up flyers around the city, hustling with a friend, and I got students. Shockingly, I got students that way, and they started coming in, and then I would meet one and they would tell me to they would tell me about somebody else, and somebody else would take my class. So it became like this really lovely word of mouth. I would have like the woman take the class and then say, no, I want my boyfriend he needs to learn English too. Very light on me, but visible, very pretty. It's a very light, pretty, pale pink. So I guess this will definitely be better suited for some skin tones. But you know what? I've seen some of these light blushes on deeper skin tones. And so you just don't know. Sometimes it looks like it's not gonna work. It looks like it's not gonna work on me. And then I've seen pictures from the brand. I'm like, okay. So anyway, you can see it on my cheeks for sure. So that's how I started to get students. And one student I started dating. I stopped teaching him after we started dating. But he turned out to be a really good friend to have in the city, because while dating him, I mean, I got to see all of Catalonia. We went all over the place, and it was really, really nice. And my friends and my students became my friends. And so one of my friends particularly, she worked at she's Venezuelan, and she worked at, we're still friends now. She worked at a company. So when I started working with her, she basically recommended me to all these people, and it just became like so I met, and her whole group was like South American. So I had met Colombians, and I became friends with Chileans. Another one who's my friend to this day. And it's just so funny. It just worked out. And one of the things, if you're ever thinking about living in another country, language exchanges is a great way to meet people. I met a friend there in a language exchange, and she ended up being so vital to my time there. Met her family, really, really cool. And it's a great way to meet people. Before I knew it, I had a life. Okay, before I knew it, I had a life. I had intended, I didn't say this part, when I went with 2 suitcases, because I was like, listen, I know I have 3 months here on my passport, so I wasn't thinking beyond 3 months. I was like, if I don't like it, I could always go home. Mind you though, I kind of gave up everything at home, so the longer I stayed, the prospect of going home was a little bit scary. It was like, I don't know if I need to be, whoa, I hope you guys can see this. I talked and kind of overdid it with the pink. I don't mind it though. So on me, actually, this could play as like a highlighter, blush, one and done kind of thing. I can see it. But the brush is doing a really nice job of picking up how much product it picks up and how it's distributing it. So this is another lovely multi-use kind of thing. Put a little here, bring a little bit more color. Let's move on to the highlighter. And while I was living there, I had, like I said, moved all over the city. Barcelona is very much a roommate city, and even for people living there, because the cost of living is not particularly cheap compared to, obviously everything is relative. So a lot of people, most people I know, I don't know if I knew anybody who wasn't in a roommate situation. So you always lived with somebody. So I met a lot of people and lived with different people and different scenarios. So it was very interesting. So anyway, so by then I had a life. I was a couple of years in, had a life, knew the city, had people come visit me, family, friends, really good time. I felt really grounded in the city. And then this is, sorry, Dior Forever. This is Coral Glow, the highlighter. And I don't really have a goldy coral highlighter like this. It shifts gold. It's a beautiful goldy coral highlighter. I'm so glad that these, I was really scared of this highlighter, these highlighters, because I thought they would be have too many sparkles, and they just don't. I'm going to use the Sonia G mini base now, just for this. So I have my friends, I have my thing, I'm happy. I was dating, I stopped dating that guy, I dating someone else, and so everything was going well, you know. But then, you know, you get homesick. It took me a while to get homesick, and this is pretty, and it matches really well with this blush. Okay, so when I got homesick, it took me a while to get homesick, but this is a really pretty color, and it's going on nicely, and I like that shift. I knew that children would always make me feel better, because that's what I was doing before I left the States. Children have always, teaching kids has always been a part of my life. And I knew that the easiest way to get a natural pick-me-up would be to work with children. See, I was working with just adults, and I intentionally sought out to teach kids, tutor kids privately. And I met a family and this was one of the best decisions I made while I was there. I met a family, and they had 3 kids, and so I picked them up from school, taught them English, taught them through play, all this sort of stuff, and it was the best morale booster. I cannot tell you, it was the best morale booster. So in the afternoons, I was working with the family, and then in the evening, this is pretty, I'm just building it up just to see, because I would leave it here. Very, very pretty. In the evenings, I would go from that job, and I would go wherever in the city that I had my classes with the adults. And so I was bringing in more money, which was good. And the working with the children was steady work. That was a steady paycheck. I knew my hours, so it really was working out. And then from there, I left the first family, and I met a second family who kind of just, changed my experience completely. The other thing about working with families is you get to see the culture, and you get to see the citizens, the Catalan people, in a completely different light. I'd heard things before, but because I got to meet grandparents and kids and aunts and uncles, it felt different. My experience in Barcelona was really personal because I wasn't just around friends. I wasn't just around a lot of South Americans, which most of my friends were South American. I got to know the Catalan people. So I started working for this other family who I just absolutely adore, and I become genuine friends with the mom. I'm actually gonna put a little of this color in the center of my eye, this coral color, just to bring a little something. The mom and I become genuine friends, and her kids are super smart. And it was while working for her, I would go on to meet my now husband, and I met him, and while working for this family, I decided I'm gonna move to Portugal. So it just zhuzhed it up a little bit. So anyway, met my husband in Barcelona, but he still lived in Portugal. So talk about a long distance. So we definitely had a long distance for a bit, even though the countries are neighbors. And then I decided we got actually engaged in Costa Brava, in Catalonia. And then I decided to leave my secure situation, go to a new unknown with my husband back to Portugal. And that was how, so I was in Barcelona about 3 years and change, and I decided to leave to move to Portugal. We're finished with mostly this part of the face. You can see, I absolutely adore this this highlighter. And again, I went a little more than I know where I forgot to put it. Another unknown, but by the time I left, like, it genuinely felt, it was the same thing with America. I was never running from anything. I was in a really good place in America when I decided to move to Europe. I was really happy, had a life, had everything, and it was just time to go. Same thing with Barcelona. I loved the people I worked with. I loved my friends. I knew the city very, very well, but I just felt like, okay, the next step, I met someone. So leaving for Portugal actually didn't feel scary at all, but we went to Portugal. I'm zooming through right now. I moved to Portugal. I decided to start teaching English online, which was a really great idea. So I kept my students that I had there, and then I brought on new ones online. So I was teaching people online. And then we moved back to Spain, to Granada, to Andalusia, and we had the idea for Breezy Tee. And then ultimately moved back to Portugal. And there was a time, it was tough, man, when I had to decide I couldn't teach anymore. I loved teaching, and I loved my students. I couldn't teach anymore, and I chose Breezy Tee, and so that's what I've been doing ever since. We've been doing, that's our business, and that is the story, really, of how I got to Europe, why I'm still here. So it's been over 10 years that I've been here, and yeah, we're gonna end it with a color you never see me in on this channel. This beautiful, look at the motif again. We have the ribbons on here, limited edition, this beautiful velvet lipstick, Rouge Dior 720. 720. Beautiful shade there. I thought this was gonna be more orange. It's not looking very orange, so we're gonna see. So that's the Barcelona part of the story and really how I came to Portugal. And what I wanna say is, would I do this again now in my 40s? Probably not. Everybody, the whole time that I was over there, kept saying, oh, you're so brave. You're so, I have some, I had the Dior Lip Addict on my lips, so I just wanted to take off the excess. You're so brave, you're so this, you're so that. My mom, when she was like, you're so brave for what you did, I never looked at it as being brave. It sounds crazy now thinking back how I didn't have a job, I didn't have friends, and I didn't have a place to live. But it just felt like this is going on so smoothly. Come on now. Well, first of all, this formula is so superb, this velvet situation. Creamy, so blendable, so pigmented, and I like this color on me. There's maybe a little bit of orange tinge there with that red. Very, very pretty. I always say I'm gonna wear more red. If I wear red, it tends to be a deeper red just because that's just what I like. However, I've always recognized there's a time and place for everything, and I like this shade on me too. I think it's very, very pretty. I need to get more of a life though. I need to go places, and then I can, wear more of these colors. But it's very, very pretty, and it feels amazing on the lips. Just to wrap up this bit of me story, how I ended up in Europe. If it's something you're thinking about or always wanted to do, I'm one of those people that thinks that you're never too late to follow your dreams. So I just want to track back. I said it earlier, but waiting for people to follow your dreams is always going to keep you right where you are. Whatever the dream is, whatever it is, and I know I'm talking about, I would have probably moved earlier if I had not been trying to get so many people to be in on my dream. It's my dream. People may dream different things, but it doesn't mean they're ready to really leap towards that dream. So don't wait for people to live your dreams. And that was a huge lesson that I learned. And another big thing living over here has taught me, especially in Barcelona, where I moved around a lot, and that 2 suitcases, I really divorced myself from material things in a really cool way. I didn't look at them the same when I lived in Barcelona. I just had what I had, and I realized how much I didn't need. That was a really important lesson too, because even now, while I accumulate things, letting go of things is not as hard as it once was, because I was doing that so much there. I realized that's not what matters in the end. I have the experiences, I have the memories. I don't have the memory of everything I bought and all the things that I own. So that was a really interesting, unexpected lesson. I was just like, wow. And I would tell that people, I was like, I realized how much I don't need to live. And that was a good lesson. But I guess the biggest lesson for me is that you're stronger than you know you are. And that took years of reflection to see that, to look back and go, wow, you really did this thing. You really, really did this thing. And I say I grew up in Barcelona. I say it all the time. I was a full-grown adult when I went to Barcelona, but I really do, in a lot of ways, feel like I grew up in Barcelona because I was there by myself. I had to figure things out by myself, medical things. If I had to go, language barriers, meeting people, the dating world. I didn't have references. I didn't have, the people and the resources that you rely on in your own country. So with everything that I accomplished, and again, this took years of reflection because I didn't think this while going through it. It made me a stronger person in the end. By the way, my favorite part of the city is Gracia, where I ended up living twice. And it's the artistic part of the city, and that's my place. It wasn't the first place. It took me living around the city to find my place in the city, and my place was in Gracia. That was my favorite part of the city. That is my favorite part. And New York is my favorite city. Barcelona is my dream city, and it's the city that I would like to return to ultimately, because I love it. I love it. and everybody's experience. Please, race and color and all that would be for a different video. Everybody's experience is different. I met people, brown people there, who had very different experiences than I did. But like I said, meeting families and getting to know Catalans, and just, I got to know the city and people in a different way. So my experience is very much my own. You know, everybody will have their own, but worth it, absolutely. I say my favorite souvenir from my trip over here has been my husband. So I met my husband and I started a business, and like I said, started a life here. And yeah, so that is the story of how I ended up in Europe. So guys, let me know first about these products. Are you interested in any of these products? Do you have any of these products? This foundation is everything. I cannot wait to continue to wear it. I'm loving the finish. It has a natural, beautiful finish, but a really nice glow. Love, love, love this Capture Totale Cell Energy Super Potent Serum Foundation from Dior. It's a beautiful. And when I rubbed it on my hand, you can just see like the glow. Oh, it's a beautiful formula. Really am liking the concealer. Again, I'm gonna get the lighter one for just to brighten up, but a nice concealer. Did a nice job of concealing my age under there. What else did we try out? Love the blush, very pink, but it did show up on me. And the highlighter, you could tell these highlighters, you can go crazy with them. This, I went a little overboard for the video's sake, but I would bring it back, but a very pretty color, that coral gold glow. And I love that single mono color, that nude dress, very pretty taupey color. They're calling it pink. I say no. It's a taupe shimmer that's just very pretty, satin shade, very pretty. And we ended it on a nice bright red note. This velvet formula is everything. When did I become a Dior girl? What is happening to me? I am just loving me some Dior right now. But this was fun. My brain is too all over the place to do too many get ready with me's and talks. I just can't do it. We'll be here forever. So let me know if you got any of these products. Let me know in the comments below. But let me know if you've ever taken a leap in your life that turned out better than you anticipated. Have you ever done anything crazy like this? Have you left the country with not many resources, but you made a life, or you made something work, or you've done something maybe not as informed as you would tell someone else to me, but you ended up having a really good story out of it? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, the Sonia G brushes, the Fusion set, beautiful set. I will get lots of use from them. I love that we can use them with creams. I feel like I don't have enough thing for cream products, so I can use them with creams, for powders. They are multi-purpose. I've been able to use just these 5 brushes and get everything done. My face, I like how everything came together. I love me some Sonia G, okay? So I can't say enough about the Fusion set. Again, I think you can buy it as, I don't know if it's sold out now, it might be, through Beautylish. You can get it as a set, or you can buy the individual brushes if you want to. And of course, if you want to check out any of our boho head wraps, t-shirt, hair towel wraps, satin line beanies, satin line knit beanies, and our other silk and linen hair accessories, just visit us at breezytee.com. Really fun one. Really enjoyed talking, and I really enjoyed trying out all these Dior products. I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao for now. Bye.